the subs. Szoboszlai's back in the team, so is McAllister, Curtis Jones, that's the midfield, Diaz, Jota and Nunez, and then Chelsea with Petrovic in goal. There's the whistle from the referee, Paul Tierney. Off we go, Liverpool kicking off, attacking towards the Anfield Road end of the ground. Liverpool in the red kit with the white trim, and Chelsea first choice colours as well, the royal blue shirts, blue shorts with the white trim, white numbers and white socks. And Chelsea have Petrovic in goal, Disasi at right back, Badiashile, Thiago Silva, Ben Chilwell back in the team, Gilchrist on the bench tonight, Caicedo and Fernandes, Madueke, Gallagher, Sterling and Cole Palmer. And it's Liverpool in possession. No Nicholas Jackson, if you've just joined us, Nicholas Jackson not back from the Africa Cup. Liverpool on the attack, down the right-hand side. And it is flicked into the penalty area for Bradley, but he's beaten to it, and Chelsea should play it away from the back, which they do, but actually Konate just chests it down and gives it out to the right-hand side. Szoboszlai is there, wants it back. Liverpool win a throw down the right-hand side. Chris Sutton with me, league title winner in England and Scotland, and we're watching the ball into the penalty area, which is pulled across from the right-hand side. Blocked, comes out, Szoboszlai with a cross to the edge of the 6-yard box, but cleared away by Thiago Silva. Good early pressure from Liverpool this. In the second minute of the match, Konate swings one forward, but that will just bounce through to Petrovic.
Just a bit careless from Chelsea. There is a Liverpool throw-in, and Jota made a movement towards the Chelsea byline, got him behind Enzo Fernandez and got the cross in, albeit the cross was blocked.
You never quite know with the Liverpool front players, but Diaz on the left-hand side and Jota more towards the right, Sterling racing through, but Alisson very quickly out to the edge of his penalty area to gather the ball that was bouncing into the box. So Liverpool have got it inside their own 6-yard area. Alisson, it's winter time, so he's got the long black, what do we call them, tights probably we would call them, that he's wearing.
Tights, bottoms,
yes, that's another good phrase.
So when does he go to shorts then?
When the clocks change, maybe, I don't know. Here's Jones to the left hand side to Gomez. Did wonder whether Robertson might start tonight, but I think it's a seal of approval, isn't it, from Jurgen Klopp, the way that Joe Gomez has played so well. He's hardly put a foot wrong at left back in the absence of Robertson. Here's Diaz now. Diaz's pass forward was straight into the path of Chelsea, who were able to clear it away. Jones again through for Jota. Jota slips a nice ball out to the left-hand side. Luis Diaz is onto this. He's up against Disasi. Diaz now into the penalty area, goes for the byline and then tried to prod it across, possibly even to get a touch off Disasi. He failed to do both. Straight behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a poor cross in the end from Diaz, who on that Liverpool left-hand side drove at Disasi. Actually tried to bend the ball in with the outside of his right foot, got it horribly wrong, but Liverpool have started with some urgency. Jurgen Klopp talking about losing his energy. His team can't afford to.
Well, he says tonight the foot is still very much on the pedal. That's the official line when he's had a chance to think about it. Liverpool with the ball in the centre circle, and McAllister, we had the pictures from the tunnel before the match. McAllister and Fernandes, the two Argentine World Cup winners, gave each other a nice greeting just before the teams came out to play. Van Dijk, crossfield pass. Ben Chilwell gets a set to that. Sterling now. Sterling up against two Liverpool players, against one of his former clubs, of course. Ball played forward from Jota. That was intercepted by Badiashile on the edge of the box. And then Chilwell just turns it out of play for another Liverpool throw down the right-hand side. And there will be a second consecutive throw there. Big week of live football, live Premier League football. This the latest night for you on 5 Live. We'll have Wolves, Manchester United, West Ham, Bournemouth tomorrow night on 5 Live and Sports Extra. And the choice tonight, Manchester City, Burnley, right now over on Sports Extra. Conor Cody making his debut tonight as a 5 Live summariser alongside Alistair Bruce Ball. So that is on Sports Extra. Manchester City leading Burnley by 2-0. So that would take City back up to 46 points. Liverpool currently on 48. Arsenal right now second on 46 points. And the Tottenham 0, Brentford 1 commentary is on the BBC Sport website and app. You'll find it there, the BBC Sport website. And Chilwell in with a challenge on Jota. Ball played forward, and Gallagher is just... Gallagher was saying he was throwing the ball to Liverpool, to Van Dijk. He threw it past Van Dijk, and the crowd are immediately onto that, saying that Gallagher had kicked the ball away. He explains it all to the referee, and there's no yellow card. Sterling now, nice little run from him, but passed the ball straight into Konate. He was trying to pass it to Gallagher. Alisson quickly out. Liverpool bringing it forward down the right-hand side. Lovely ball, played forward to Darwin Núñez, who tried to lift it goalwards, but didn't get the contact that he wanted. And Petrovic was just able to pat it out of the air.
Yeah, tremendous run from Núñez, and good long ball from Bradley at right back, in behind Badiashile. Núñez criticised for his finishing, tried to take an early lob on, but Petrovic got back comfortably.
Yep, Núñez, 11 goals this season, 10 assists. Here's Sterling, that's the reason for the boos, plays the ball into the penalty area. Gallagher, he was brought down! He was brought down by Van Dijk, he went sprawling, shouts for a penalty, nothing doing.
I don't understand why he would dive in that situation. I really don't. He must be checking this. He takes a touch past Van Dijk, but I think he goes down too easily, John. Just watching it back.
Runs into Van Dijk. Well, the leg was there, but Gallagher played for it. Ball bounces down into the penalty area. Thiago Silva turns and puts it out of play. With the naked eye, I have to confess, I thought penalty.
Well, yeah, you thought penalty. Same as me, John, in the fact that he takes a touch past Van Dijk. Why would he go down in that situation? And Alisson doesn't get. He actually spreads himself and gets the ball with his right boot initially. Obviously, they would have checked that. I think it's the correct decision.
Van Dijk sort of steps into it, but keeps his position, doesn't he?
There's a tiny bit of contact, but surely Gallagher has to try and prod that in.
Yeah. Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. That's the first talking point for you. Great rivalry between these sides. It's a modern rivalry, this, Liverpool against Chelsea. Believe it or not, this is the 73rd time they've played each other since the turn of the century, since 2000, because there's just been so many tussles, and of course played each other in both cup finals, both domestic cup finals the season before last, and indeed will play each other in another cup final in just over 3 weeks' time. So big shout for Chelsea there, but actually in the aftermath, you know, there were inquiries from the Chelsea players towards the referee. Here's Jones on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Jones up to the corner of the penalty area. Jones, good form at the moment for Liverpool, good goal-scoring form as well. 5 goals for him for Liverpool this season, his best yet. Then back to Van Dijk on the halfway line. So let's just nip round our other matches. Manchester City in control against Burnley. Chris Coles.
They are indeed, John. This is all very routine for the champions at half-time. Manchester City 2, Burnley 0. A brace for Julian Alvarez, a header and a cool finish from a De Bruyne free kick. Lyle Foster had Burnley's best chance, firing wide from a tight angle, but they're comfortably second best. Manchester City 2, Burnley 0. Chris Temple at Tottenham.
Tottenham 0, Brentford 1 at half-time. Tottenham currently fluffing their chance to get into the top 4. Brentford lead through Neil Maupay on 16 minutes. Kulusevski, Werner, Richarlison have all come close for Spurs, but they haven't been fluent, and Tony could have doubled Brentford's lead. Half-time, Tottenham 0, Brentford 1.
Liverpool could have been in front. McAllister passed through for Darwin Núñez, who hit the shot from, 22 yards, something like that. Just took a little touch from Petrovic over the top for a corner.
Actually hit the bar, John, just a touch off the bar.
Here's the corner. In towards the back post, but headed up and away by Badiashile. McAllister on the volley, blocked by the players on the edge of the penalty area. Fernandes lifts it away. Fernandes will be beaten to it by his international teammate, McAllister. And then on his feet, Fernandes chops down Conor Bradley and concedes a free kick.
Yeah, he does chop down Bradley. It's not bad. That bad a challenge. Liverpool fans, they don't half sound up for it this evening. Got to say with Núñez, when the ball was slid through from McAllister, he's 22 yards out, wonderful pass. I'm thinking he's got to try and take that on. Silva was getting across, but surely you think Núñez would have the legs over Silva. Took the early shot, just over the bar, took a touch off the bar in fact.
In the Championship, still Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0. The one match that's being played in the Championship tonight, as the ball is out of play for a throw into Chelsea on the far side. And have a think about this. I think we talked about it last week, didn't we, when we were at Fulham? What do you think the best combination is for the Liverpool front three? What, in your eyes, works best? Gakpo, is on the bench
when
tonight.
Salah's fit, are we allowed?
Well, currently with these players, Nunez, Jota, Diaz, and Gakpo.
Yeah, I think he's probably got it right this evening, Jurgen Klopp. I'm not going to disagree with Jurgen Klopp with his record, John.
Certainly not. Here's Palmer. Palmer out to the right-hand side to Disasi, and Gomez just tackles him. Just steps in, takes the ball, out of play for a throw down the right-hand side that Disasi will take to Cole Palmer. Chelsea's leading scorer in his first season after that surprise transfer from Manchester City. 11 goals for Chelsea. Did score 2 for Manchester City, so actually 13 this season for the clubs.
Quite a few penalties, but penalties count.
They do count. Here's Gomez on the edge of the box under pressure, plays it across. Bradley chests it down, the Northern Ireland international, and then picks the pass to Szoboszlai in the centre circle, who's got some space, and the Hungarian takes it on, gives it to Luis Diaz, edge of the area now on his right foot, tried to play it through the little gap, and the little gap closed as he did so. But Diaz, as ever, battling back for it, and he's fouled by Caicedo, and a yellow card.
Yep.
Yellow card for that challenge on Luis Diaz.
And listen to the crowd there. I think the Liverpool supporters enjoyed that booking. Of course, Caicedo turned Liverpool down, and he gets the yellow card for a bit of dissent towards the referee. He actually wins the ball, and that's what he's angry about, because he did win the ball. Free kick given against him, but throws his arms about and sees yellow.
Yeah, that odd episode where he seemed destined for Chelsea. Then Liverpool, right at the start of the season, bid £111 million for him, and Chelsea then had to pay 115 million, and then they played each other in the first match of the season, and it finished as a 1-1 draw. Szoboszlai clipping this in, little glancing header which took it beyond the far post. I think it was Jota, wasn't it, who got his head to it. Amazing how effective he is in the air, but dropped wide of the far post, and it's a goal kick.
There's a good ball in, actually, in-swinger from the left-hand side, right-footed in-swinger. There's not enough pace on the cross, and Jota gets the flick. That has to be so exact there. Do you think Caicedo sort of regrets that move, John?
Is it too early to have regrets?
Probably.
Chelsea develop into. Mauricio Pochettino down there will have great plans for him, no doubt. Mauricio Pochettino said last week Jurgen Klopp was the first man that sent them a message when he was sacked as the Tottenham manager. Here's Gallagher, halfway inside his own half. Gallagher back out to Disasi, and then Disasi a stretch from Caicedo, and then Chelsea have it back on the edge of the penalty area. Mauricio Pochettino, who's won just 1 of 12 matches against Jurgen Klopp as a manager in all competitions. He did win here, but that was back in his Southampton days, pre-Klopp. Chelsea bringing it forward. Oh, and that's given away by Chilwell to Darwin Nunez, middle of the half. Skips round Caicedo, takes the shot, but it's well wide actually of the far post from the angle. By the time it bounced over the white line, it was probably 5-6 yards wide.
Yeah, he's way off mark there. Actually really clever in the first instance. Chilwell gifting him the ball. Little chop on the outside of Caicedo. Wrong decision there. Conor Bradley steaming up on the right-hand side on the overlap. Took the shot on. That's his third attempt. I think that was well wide of Petrovic's right-hand post.
Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. BBC Radio 5 live from Anfield tonight. The weather was horrendous earlier, round about tea time. The rain was sweeping in from the Irish Sea across Anfield in great clouds, but it is dry now. Floodlights shining down, with Caicedo in possession on the edge of his own box, plays it back behind Badiashile, who then had to quickly play it out to the left-hand side, and this comes to nothing for Chelsea, and Liverpool nick it back from them. Now Nunez on the edge of the penalty area, plays it out to Bradley on the right-hand side. Bradley lifts it over, headed away effectively for Chelsea by Disasi, who scored in that match at the start of the season in the 1-1 draw. And then Palmer is dispossessed. Gomez, excellent work from him on the halfway line. Szoboszlai, and now a shot from Darwin Nunez again, blocked on the edge of the box. That's 4.
Yeah,
he's now had 4 attempts on goal in the first 15 minutes. Luis Diaz, he scored the other goal in the 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. Ball curled in by Gomez, headed away by Badiashile, nodded back in, headed away by Thiago Silva, and then Szoboszlai just steers a header back towards Konate, who flicks it away from Raheem Sterling. They enjoyed that, the home supporters. Liverpool still in possession. Luis Diaz together with Szoboszlai. Now Luis Diaz is running at the Chelsea defence into the penalty area, up against Disasi, pulls it back under his right foot, lays it back to the edge of the area, couldn't find Jones, and Chelsea clear away downfield, just get possession back.
And Chelsea cannot get out of their own half. They're trying to play, they're being brave on the ball, but Liverpool's pressing has been absolutely exceptional.
Liverpool with Van Dijk in the centre circle, playing it out to Conor Bradley, the number 84. He's becoming very familiar now, his 5th consecutive start, which has included his Premier League debut, both legs of the semi-final against Fulham, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I wondered actually whether he might stick as right back Bradley and play Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield tonight. Gomez playing it all the way across to Konate, and then back to Van Dijk. Chelsea just standing off Liverpool as Szoboszlai now, left of centre, flicked in field towards Jota, then McAllister, square from him to Konate. Bradley's right out there on the far side, but Konate keeps possession, actually plays a little one through to Darwin Núñez, who this time actually with his back to the penalty area doesn't turn and go for goal, plays it back, and now it comes to the left-hand side. Luis Diaz, left-footed cross, headed away by Thiago Silva, the 39-year-old Thiago Silva, and then Gomez barrels into the back of Palmer and brings him down, and it's a free kick to Chelsea, and it's still 0-0 here. Still the champions, Manchester City, 2-0 up against Burnley, 2 goals for Alvarez, and Brentford winning 1-0 at Tottenham. Still Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, Thiago Silva. Is he 39, is he?
39. Yeah.
Just positionally, he's like a magnet, isn't he? Reads the game so well. Rarely gets caught out. Don't want to sort of be a kiss of death for him, but it's amazing.
There's Conor Gallagher, takes the ball on, bounced up, suggesting he might have been using an arm. That was the cry from the Liverpool supporters behind us. Played into the area by Madueke, but he passed it straight at McAllister and then ended up slipping over. So Liverpool have got it back inside their own half. And Liverpool with Szoboszlai, and then back to the edge of their own penalty area. Yes, no Nicholas Jackson, but Cesare Casade is on the bench for Chelsea tonight, who's spent the season so far at Leicester City. Very highly rated young Italian. Long ball forward for Konate, and the shot from Darwin Núñez is punched onto a post by Petrovic. Well, he's getting closer. He struck the post and the bar now. And I have to say, I thought that was past Petrovic, but he got a vital touch onto the post.
Yep, it's a brilliant run on the diagonal, peels away from Thiago Silva. Yes, kiss of death on Thiago Silva. Disasi doesn't read the diagonal ball. Alexa's the ball sitting up to go left-footed and powers a shot across Petrovic. I tell you what a brilliant left hand it is. Down to his left-hand side, and he tips it onto the post. Brilliant save.
Really was. Just
full stretch.
Just about the foot of the post and bounced wide. So it's a corner to Liverpool from the right. Here it comes. It's a deep one to the back post. Van Dijk heads it across the penalty area. Van Dijk, who came on and scored against Norwich on Sunday in the FA Cup. And then Bradley goes for a Zidane-type turn on the edge of the D when there was absolutely no space at all, and nearly pulled it off. Nearly, not quite. Now Szoboszlai on the right-hand side. He was leaned into by Ben Chilwell. Ball bounced out of play, and that was given as a free kick. So it's a free kick to Liverpool on the right. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0 is the half-time score in the Championship. 7:45 kick-off that. 8:15 kick-off here at Anfield, which have become fashionable, haven't they, these 8:15 kick-offs? I hope, like many fashionable things, they soon go out of fashion. Free kick.
Normally in bed at 9, John, these days.
Well, I know. Free kick in from the right, but that's cleared away by Chilwell, and Szoboszlai, who took the set piece, races back to the halfway line and plays it back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Yeah, that's very rural Norfolk, isn't it?
Yeah,
bed by
absolutely. Blow the candles out.
Yes, absolutely.
Off the bed.
Here's Darwin Núñez, now on the left wing. Madueke comes past. Nunez takes it on, goes past him, then cuts back. He's on his right foot, the Uruguayan, back onto his left. Chips it across to the back post. Headed away by Chilwell. McAllister chests it down and shoots, and it is deflected wide by a distance, by 3 or 4 yards, but it's another corner to Liverpool.
Yeah, and I like Nunez when he comes out to the left-hand side. Sets Madueke up, shifts the ball, puts a delightful cross in, just stands a cross up, and as the ball comes to McAllister, edge of the box, he's under pressure, takes a quick touch off his chest. And another corner for Liverpool.
Liverpool, who've lost just once domestically all season, the controversial defeat at Tottenham, and are unbeaten here at Anfield. Corner. Szoboszlai plays it in, punched away by Petrovic, the Chelsea goalkeeper. Cleared out to McAllister and Gomez. Bradley gets it under control on the right-hand side. Here's the delivery from him, and it's headed wide by Luis Diaz, who mistimed it really well wide. Goal kick, Liverpool 0, Chelsea 0. And from Liverpool back to Manchester, Chris Coles.
Where Manchester City have a 3-goal lead over Burnley. The third scored inside 28 second-half seconds. A very Manchester City goal. Ball down the flank. Phil Foden squared it. Rodri finished it into a corner. Manchester City 3, Burnley 0.
So 3-0. Is Haaland's on the bench, isn't he, Chris?
Yep, he's on the bench. Foden's in my fantasy team, John, so I'm pleased with that assist.
Excellent news, pleased to hear that. Fantasy 606, the new edition, is available. BBC Sounds. If you didn't hear earlier, Paul from the Traitors is a guest this week. Face to face he was as well, came in to see you. As the ball's played over the top to Diaz, Liverpool dominating. Diaz's cross back out to the edge of the penalty area was cleared by Fernandes. Boos for Sterling still, and then Chelsea, who thought they had a shout early on for a penalty when Gallagher was challenged by Van Dijk, but Chris, you were adamant that Gallagher made too much of it.
I was really surprised, because initial reaction, I thought, why would he go down like that? But I think he does throw himself to the floor too easily. Maybe a contender for simulation game this
might well be. You could
weekend.
You could bring yourself in for that on Sunday night.
Yeah.
For the simulation game.
Yeah.
By the way, the Fantasy 606, Ali Bruce Ball tells me it features a banishment. So
it does, yeah. I'm not gonna say who, of course, because the people will be on tenterhooks.
Chilwell has lost the ball inside the Liverpool half. Now here's Jota, 22 yards out. Jota trying to find a way through. He's all the way, scores! Defenders either side. That didn't matter. Jota just barged his way through the Chelsea defence and then planted a left foot shot past Petrovic, and it is Liverpool 1, Chelsea 0, and there's the opening goal midway through the first half here at Anfield.
Well, you can't say it wasn't coming. It was. Nunez has had, I don't know how many attempts, 5, 6 attempts at goal. This is brilliant from Jota though, because it's just about persistence. Chelsea actually in the Liverpool half, Liverpool break out on them, and Jota, quick feet on the edge of the box, goes, I think, in between Silva and Badiashile. Poor defending from Chelsea. Mauricio Pochettino will not be impressed. His two centre-halves, he's just bundled through them. 6 yards out, he's not going to miss that once he gets through Jota. Left-footed, just slams it past Petrovic in the Chelsea goal.
Just wondering if it might have bounced up and hit his arm.
No, I don't think. I think it's Badiashile. I think it hits Badiashile's arm.
Well, VAR having a look at a possible offside. It sort of rattled between Jota and Badiashile as he was trying to go through. We've not had a very good angle of that, and it did bounce up and hit him on the upper body, but it might have hit him on the chin as opposed to the arm. I'm not sure. So we've not got a restart yet.
You think they'd be able to tell the difference between the chin and the arm?
They would if they had a decent angle, and the one we're seeing here is a terrible angle, and they're trying to find the best angle of this, and it might be that they don't have a good enough angle of this, you know.
I think there's the first angle I saw, I thought it may have hit Badiashile's arm.
Yeah, there we are. It's been given. And I think it might be the case that there just simply was not an angle that was good enough to show whether it hit his arm or not. So he gets the benefit of the doubt. Diogo Jota, he's got his 13th goal of the season, his 8th in the Premier League, and it is Liverpool 1, Chelsea 0. And the way that the match has been so far, the first quarter of it, 25 minutes played now, Liverpool have been all over Chelsea. And Chelsea, with their poor recent away record, you'd be very brave to suggest that this is going to turn out to be anything other than another Liverpool home victory. And Liverpool with the ball at the back, and Anfield, the home sections of Anfield, in great voice. So Liverpool leading by 1-0. Let's go back to Tottenham. Chris Temple.
Where Tottenham have just taken the lead. They were 1-0 down at half-time. They've scored twice in just over a minute. Brennan Johnson was one of 2 subs introduced at half-time. He's just stroked in the second after Destiny Udogie had equalised 2 minutes earlier. Postecoglou not happy with what he saw in the first half. A double change has brought 2 goals in 2 minutes. Tottenham 2, Brentford 1.
And Manchester City 3-0 up on Burnley. So Manchester City-Burnley, that's on Sports Extra. Tottenham-Brentford is on the BBC Sport website. And it is a 5 Live final score night tonight, by the way. You can listen to the 5 Live commentary alongside the video printer and the final score graphics via the red button, the iPlayer. Just click on 5 Live final score. And you can do that. And there is Match of the Day tonight on BBC One. Or indeed any time on the iPlayer, with all of the midweek highlights so far. We've brought you live football every night this week, if you include Blackburn-Wrexham on Sports Extra on Monday, which I am doing. Ball played through to Sterling. Sterling, though, is eased off the ball by Van Dijk, and then Sterling trips Van Dijk, who goes down. The ball runs through anyway for a goal kick, and actually it was Madueke, not Sterling. Madueke might have been in an offside position anyway, but it's a free kick to Liverpool.
Yeah, haven't seen much of Madueke. Actually, it's a good run in between Gomez and Van Dijk down Chelsea's right-hand side, but Van Dijk gets across and covers well.
Long ball forward for Liverpool, but Badiashile, who is rather too easily beaten by Diogo Jota for the opening goal. Up to Palmer, now Madueke, but Liverpool players all around him. However, he does well, Madueke, the England under-21 international, and turns and comes away with the ball and uses Palmer, and Chelsea go back into their own half. Liverpool 1, Chelsea 0. Just to underline this excellent Liverpool home record, as Sterling runs at the Liverpool defence, but Konate steps in. Then it's played forward with the angle towards Palmer by Fernandes, but that was cut out on the edge of the box. Now Caicedo plays it to the right-hand side to Disasi, a flick from Madueke into Gomez, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Chelsea. For Liverpool, it is now 22 home matches without defeat in the Premier League. They've lost one of their last 52 at home in the league, and it is 25 unbeaten in all competitions since Real Madrid won here last February, so nearly a year ago since Liverpool last lost at Anfield, and generally they win.
Who was the loss against in the league?
The last
loss in the league?
Leeds United, believe it or not, in 2022, as Caicedo is fouled, and it's a free kick forward and right of the centre circle. You know, that's what any team are up against coming here. In all domestic competitions, lost 1 out of 63 in the league and the cups here. I mean, it's an amazing home record under Klopp. You know, that has been the bedrock of Klopp's success with Liverpool, the successes that they've had.
Yeah, it has, and you know, we talk about the strength of the Premier League. That is an incredible record. And they've come out tonight and started so sharply, great urgency, thoroughly deserved to be in front. But still got work to do.
They have, just 1-0, could be more. Darwin Núñez has had a shot tipped against the bar, hit the post as well, with another effort that was well saved by Petrovic. But Diogo Jota found the break through. 4 goals in his last 4 appearances now for the Portuguese. Mo Salah still out, but They're not worried about him going back to the Africa Cup anymore since Egypt were knocked out. Here's Bradley on the right-hand side, back to Szoboszlai, who plays it back towards the halfway line. Endo won't be coming back for Liverpool quite yet, because Japan won their match at the Asia Cup today against Bahrain, so are through to the next round. Here's Bradley on the right-hand side, back towards the halfway line, and Liverpool start again. Konate, little tap to the right-hand side. Szoboszlai, Liverpool delighted to see him back as well after his recent short absence. He missed 4 matches. Szoboszlai just been named again for the second time as the Hungarian Male Athlete of the Year, I was reading in the match programme today. Here is Luis Diaz, who chests it down on the left-hand side. Luis Diaz takes on Disasi, but then cuts it back onto his right foot. Then Gomez, now Jones. Low shot from Jones, saved by Petrovic, who very nearly pushed it out to Jota. Jota gets the ball, and then Nunez in the middle goes for an acrobatic volley and sends it up over the top of the bar. Is that 5 now?
I think it may be 6. I think, yeah, we may be up to 6. Decent save from Petrovic down to his left-hand side again. As the ball comes back in, he's not quite set. Nunez, I think it comes off his right shin. Good effort from Curtis Jones. Talk about the money that Liverpool have spent on midfielders, McAllister, Szoboszlai. But Jones is just getting better and better and better. He made the point about Trent Alexander-Arnold can play in there as well. You've got good strength and depth in that area now.
Yep, Curtis Jones, we spoke about him last week, didn't we, at Craven Cottage, about his chances of getting into the squad for the Euros. I think in this sort of form, I think it would be a surprise if he was not in the squad in March, if this continues for the 2 friendlies against Belgium and Brazil. Badiashile wins the ball back from Jota, and then Conor Gallagher, might have conceded the foul, but Liverpool in possession, so Paul Tierney is just going to see if an advantage is going to come, or indeed McAllister's on his feet. So play continues. Jota running at the Chelsea defence again, plays it through, it bounces off Disasi. Liverpool felt Jota was fouled after the ball had gone. That might be a foul as well, it is, and Fernandes is yellow carded for his trip on Luis Diaz, on Curtis Jones, just outside the team.
That was a ridiculous challenge from Fernandes. What on earth is he thinking about? Goes to ground, it's wild. Curtis Jones gets to the ball first, and now an opportunity from a free kick.
Fernandes yellow carded, back to Tottenham because Chris Temple.
Some 3-card trick this from Tottenham early in the second half. They now lead 3-1. Maddison involved some nifty footwork, and it broke loose 6 yards out for Richarlison to knock it into the bottom right-hand corner. 3 goals in about 7 minutes. They lead Brentford 3-1.
No, that's more like it from Tottenham. I was there on Friday night, Chris. I thought that was one of their meeker performances under Ange Postecoglou, but admittedly against Manchester City.
Manchester City. Can we let Ange off just 1 week, one insipid performance?
Well, can we?
Well, I think so, can't we?
Yeah, well, it happens to every team. Free kick to Liverpool after that foul on Jones. Szoboszlai to take this. 25 yards out, hits it into the wall, and the ball bounces back for Liverpool, for Bradley. Liverpool, after half an hour, had 55% possession. Here's Darwin Nunez. We reckon he's had 6 attempts at goal, been denied by Petrovic twice onto post and bar. Jota scoring the goal, back it goes to the halfway line. 11 shots to nil for Liverpool after the first half hour. Konate had to be sharp there against Fernandes, who's on a yellow card now. Szoboszlai is dispossessed by Sterling. Now it's through the middle. Gallagher, as speculation continues about his future. Transfer gossip daily, every morning at the moment on BBC Sounds. Palmer swings it out to the left-hand side to Sterling, who has scored 3 times against Liverpool since he left. Oh, Konate in with a challenge, and a free kick is given against Chelsea for a dive by Ben Chilwell, and the Chelsea captain tonight is yellow carded for that.
Well, I think there's contact, not enough contact. What a brilliant pass, first of all, from Raheem Sterling. And then Konate sticks out his right leg. Let's have a look. And there's a tiny, teeny weeny
on the
touch.
side of his calf.
Yeah, and he feels it and goes down, John. He's a winner, as far as I'm concerned, of the weekend.
I think this is going to be heard again on Sunday night.
Yeah,
and you're going to be telling Robbie Savage that Ben Chilwell is...
He's better than that, John.
Oh, listen out for that.
Or is he?
So you reckon that's 2 then tonight now?
2.
Gallagher and Chilwell. And then
there's another one there,
challenged by McAllister, centre field this one. And it's a free kick to Chelsea.
It's amazing to think, John, back to the first game of the season. I look back at Chelsea-Liverpool. Liverpool were lucky to get away with anything on the opening day there. 1-1 in the end. I think Jurgen Klopp admitted as much. Chelsea dominant, 65% possession they had in that game.
Mauricio Pochettino's first match in charge, the new Chelsea manager, had that effect. Sterling, now Chilwell down the left-hand side, was leaned into by Bradley, and Chilwell's gone down, and the ball runs through for what is given as a goal kick, and Chilwell's not getting a free kick for that either. Referee Tierney feeling that there wasn't enough contact on Chilwell to send him down like that. The two of them were sprinting together, shoulder to shoulder. There was a hand on the arm. Ball played forward for Liverpool for Darwin Núñez, but bounces through to goalkeeper Petrovic. You've got that look on your face.
No, he couldn't have done 2 dives, John. Could he?
Sterling back to Fernandes, and then Badiashile steers it with his left foot to Disasi, and now Madueke, who goes back into his own half.
It's interesting. Palmer's not playing as a conventional centre forward, is he? He's just on the drift. Actually, it's often Conor Gallagher who's furthest forward in that central area.
They're kind of playing without a centre forward, aren't they? As Sterling has it on the left-hand side, but can't. Almost got past Bradley, but not enough. Liverpool did the job there, and McAllister was helping him out, and it's out of play for a throw on the halfway line. I must say, Conor Bradley. We often say this, don't we, with young players who come in, you know, and the adrenaline's running. It's early days, great excitement, but he's done tremendously well, the right back.
Yeah, absolutely. And Trent back this evening. Trent Alexander-Arnold, how versatile he is.
Canate, long pass forward. Jota headed it on, but the offside flag is up, and it's a free kick to Chelsea halfway inside their own half. Liverpool 1, Chelsea 0. So Liverpool would be re-establishing the 5-point lead that they have before they go to Arsenal on Sunday. That's one of our commentaries this weekend. Arsenal against Liverpool on Sunday afternoon. We've got 6 commentaries, 6 Premier League commentaries, 5 live online or Sports Extra over the course of the weekend, and 6 Nations as well. Starts on Friday night, so we've got commentary on Friday night as well of the France-Ireland game live from Marseille. That's Friday night. This is Wednesday night. Liverpool winning a throw-in halfway inside their own half, and the only thing that Jurgen Klopp has not got tonight is a second goal to make the lead more comfortable.
That's the danger, isn't it? But here we go again, Liverpool.
Diaz wriggles away from Fernandes, plays the ball into the space. Bradley takes it on and scores! Well, that's captain for him. The young man, the 20-year-old. What a star he's been since he's come into this Liverpool team. And now he's got himself on the score sheet with his first senior competitive goal for the club. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0, and didn't he take it well?
This is a brilliant finish. Great run initially, and then as the ball is popped out, as a high line from Chelsea players complaining to the referee Paul Tierney. I don't think there was any foul anywhere I could see. I think they may be saying Núñez has fouled one of the Chelsea players. But Diaz does well, half turn, lets the ball run across his body, pops the ball out to Bradley, takes a couple of touches, the angle against him, gets his head up, and what a laser-like finish it is. 16 yards, he feeds the ball in. Petrovic flings himself to his right-hand side. He gets absolutely nowhere near it. It's such brilliant composure.
Oh, they're having a look at it, VAR. I mean, my eyes were drawn to Chilwell and Jota. I don't know about you, I felt that was almost more Chilwell on Jota than it was Jota on Chilwell.
You're absolutely right. I can't see how, I mean, they probably will because they get most things wrong, but I can't see how they aren't going to give a goal for this, because I think Chilwell is blocking Jota. He knows Jota's making a run in behind, and then Chilwell goes to ground like he's the one who's been fouled.
Chilwell's worried about the run of Jota.
Yep.
Surely.
It cannot be not given this.
Well, I think the crowd thought that it had been given. This would be, I have to say, this would be cruel in the extreme if...
He's got a big grin on his face, Conor Bradley.
I think he's been told. Yeah, there we are, the goal's given. Conor Bradley has his first goal for Liverpool. He had to wait a little while there, but relief when the decision finally came, and Liverpool have got the 2-0 lead that they deserve against Chelsea, and now they've got a free kick for Disasi's foul on Luis Diaz. And Mauricio Pochettino's walking towards this with his arms wide apart. And actually, I think he might be about to get shown a yellow card. Mauricio Pochettino.
But he's frustrated, the Chelsea players are frustrated, but the yellow card is for Disasi throwing his arms around again once the decision, however harsh he felt it might have been, at the referee Paul Tierney. So as far as I can see, no complaints.
Yeah, Disasi yellow carded, and he still had the yellow card in his hand when he had a conversation with Mauricio Pochettino, but Mauricio Pochettino has now got his arms folded, and it was just a chat. 2-0, Liverpool lead in complete control. They've dominated this first half. Chelsea have been paper thin, really. And now McAllister with a ball into the penalty area at head height. That's away by Disasi. Liverpool again take up possession. What a great moment that is for Conor Bradley, though, this young Northern Ireland international who did have an eye for goal last season. Bolton Wanderers fans will know this. When he was there on loan during the last campaign, got 7 goals for Bolton last season, was their player of the year, but in what is tonight only his 14th senior competitive appearance for Liverpool, he's off the mark with an excellent finish.
That was a half chance. It was. He took it so well, so accurate with the finish back across Petrovic. It's like he's been doing it all his career, John.
Yeah, Alexander-Arnold would have been proud of that finish. Actually, probably one or two of the forward players would have been proud of that finish. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. We'll go to our other Premier League matches in a moment, but Liverpool attacking down the left-hand side with Jones. Jones up to the edge of the box, plays it behind Nunez. And for once, for Liverpool, it comes to nothing. So Liverpool 2-0 up here. Jota and Bradley with the first half goals. This is an 8:15 kick-off, if you've just switched on and are getting discombobulated. But 7:30 starts for Manchester City and Tottenham. Let's go to Tottenham again. Chris Temple.
And there's just been another goal, John, and it's Brentford who've got it back to 3-2. A disastrous back pass by Destiny Udogie, who had earlier equalised for Spurs, played it straight to Ivan Toney on the edge of the box, who took his time and planted it past Vicario. Toney had just missed a great chance for Brentford a minute earlier, so it's now Tottenham 3, Brentford 2.
Liverpool attacking again, and Thiago Silva has to volley the ball out of play for another Liverpool corner. I see Wickham have beaten Brighton and Hove Albion under-21s 4-1 in the EFL Trophy, the one match being played tonight. Manchester City still 3-0 up on Burnley. We'll go there in a moment. But Tottenham now pegged back to 3-2. Corner though for Liverpool, who are looking for their third after all of these draws between Liverpool and Chelsea, 7 in a row. Although, of course, 2 of them were in the cup finals that Liverpool won on penalties. But Liverpool decisively ahead. And here comes the corner. Van Dijk heads it across. Comes out to McAllister on the edge of the box. Turns. Back to Gomez. They want him to shoot. But he's over 30 yards out. Still hasn't got that goal, Chris. And here is Liverpool with Szoboszlai on the right-hand side. And Joe Gomez then back towards the halfway line. Ball played through, and now Van Dijk still in the area, and Jota goes down after a challenge from Diaz, and that's a penalty to Liverpool, and that'll really rub the salt in the wounds for Chelsea, who at the other end, two Chelsea players have gone down in the Liverpool box and got nothing apart from a yellow card for Chilwell, and now Jota goes down after that challenge in his own box, and Paul Tierney says penalty.
Yeah, it's going from bad to worse, and Badiashile doesn't protest. What a ball it is. I think it's Gomez on the diagonal to Van Dijk, takes it on his chest, helps the ball into Jota, who makes a run across Badiashile. Gets the first touch, Jota does, and Badiashile, he's really clumsy. His left boot comes down on Jota's left ankle. It's a clear penalty. Jota's still down, getting treatment. And Mauricio Pochettino, a penny for his thoughts. He cannot believe how his team have started this game.
Well, he did have his foot stepped on. We can see that clearly on the replay. So Badiashile, who was beaten by Jota for the first goal and has now conceded a penalty. Question is, who's going to take it? Just hearing that Erling Haaland has come on as a substitute at Manchester City. Darwin Núñez has scored a penalty this season, but it looks as though it's going to be Alexis McAllister who's going to take it. So
I think he's taken a few over the years, hasn't he, McAllister? I'm not sure whether he's taken one for Liverpool. Has he? Must have taken one for Liverpool.
Not for Liverpool, no.
For Brighton, I can remember him scoring some for Brighton, yeah.
So it's McAllister, or is it? No, it's not. It's Núñez.
It's hard for you these days, John.
McAllister had the ball next to the penalty spot. I thought it was a surprise choice. I mean, Núñez, and now, I mean, everyone knows the story here tonight. We think it's 6 attempts on goal that he's had. And now McAllister says, step forward, Darwin, now's your moment. And he gives him, the Argentine gives the Uruguayan the ball. Núñez places it on the spot. This to make it 3-0. Sets out to his left, little steps, right foot. Oh, he's hit the post! He's missed the penalty. Petrovic went the wrong way, dived to his right, and as he looked at it, it struck me right upright and bounced away at 45-degree angles, and the score remains 2-0 to Liverpool, not 3-0.
Yep, so maybe unlucky number 7. It was his 7th attempt, I think. Oh, what an opportunity to put this game to bed, though.
What an opportunity not taken. Liverpool on the back foot as Sterling comes forward on the left-hand side. Chilwell on the overlap. Chilwell's cross deflected, bounces down to McAllister, who clears it poorly to Fernandes, who shoots from distance, but Alisson has had to make a save. Make a note of that in added time, 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. It was straight at him, so Alisson scooped it up.
He's a long way out, Fernandes, just watching the Núñez penalty. Klopp couldn't watch, and he gets a good contact, hits it cleanly, but off the post, not his half.
It really has not. But he certainly keeps trying, and Jota now on his heels. He's okay after receiving treatment following the conceding of the penalty. So still only Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. 5 Live, Premier League, live on a Wednesday night. Tomorrow we will have commentary on 5 Live. That's the 8:15 tomorrow. Wolves against Manchester United. West Ham Bournemouth is on Sports Extra, so it'll be Jonathan Pearce and Paul Robinson you'll be listening to at this time tomorrow. And then Friday night commentary on France against Ireland. Saturday, Newcastle-Luton is our 3 o'clock commentary. Then Sheffield United against Aston Villa. And then Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, West Ham, both on 5 Live on Sunday. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. This weekend, more matches on Sports Extra. Check BBC Sounds for details. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. Disassi to take this throw. We're in the last minute of added time at the end of this first half. Dominated by Liverpool. Certainly puts a marker down ahead of the cup final as well. Caicedo plays it square. Gallagher in the D, back onto his right foot, then slips, falls over, and Liverpool clear. And that sums it up really for Chelsea in this first half.
Well, Gallagher had the opportunity to pop that out to Raheem Sterling on the left-hand side of the box for Chelsea. Tried to take it on himself, slipped, chance gone.
I say it puts down a marker for the cup final. Does it? Does it matter? 3 weeks away.
Well, you'd think that Chelsea.
You wouldn't want to have been beaten like this.
No, I mean, you know, they can't be any worse, you'd think.
So Chelsea, poor away record. I saw them lose at Wolves last month when they missed chance after chance in that match, and then Matt Doherty scored the winner. That was the controversial Christmas Eve match. I hope you were listening that day, Chris. As Sterling then runs the ball out of play on the halfway line, and it's a throw-in to Liverpool.
Yeah, it hasn't been an easy return. I think it's his second club, Liverpool, wasn't it?
That's right.
Started at QPR.
QPR, I think it was. Yeah. Raheem Sterling. Ball played along the edge of the penalty area. But I mean, Chelsea as an attacking force in this first half.
Oh, what? Did you see that from Becker?
Alisson, the outside of his right foot, slicing it across.
You can't do that as a goalkeeper. That was what a pass that was.
He must be worried he's going to lose his place in the Brazilian team to Ederson. So there's the half-time whistle, and that is exactly what Jurgen Klopp asked for tonight. He knew that this, against Chelsea, you know, he knows, Jurgen Klopp, there have been too many unhappy experiences and difficult experiences over the years. He knew that this had to be what he called a proper Anfield occasion, and Liverpool have dominated it. It's 2-0. Jota and Bradley, the goal scorers, but Nunez missed a penalty. Could easily have been more. Could be out of sight.
Yeah, could be, should be, but Liverpool have been red hot, played with such great intensity. They have, looking at Chelsea, you'd think they probably have to spend £500 million, John.
What, is that all? Half-time, Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0.
Oh, there are so many things that you could go at there, Chris. Do you want to do Chelsea first of all and then just get them done? Because there are all sorts of aspects to Liverpool's play that we can then focus on. But Chelsea have been poor.
They have, and you know, they've tried. In fairness, it's easy to criticise Chelsea, and they have been off it, but they've tried to play out from the back. But Liverpool's press has been so good, and they simply haven't let Chelsea play. And Chelsea, the longer the half has gone on, they've lacked confidence and belief, and Liverpool have blitzed them. Quite frankly, they have been so dominant, so many chances. Haven't taken them all, but that's one of the best Liverpool performances I've seen this season.
Stuart Downing, would you agree?
Yeah, Liverpool have been very good, haven't they? I think what Chris said, that Chelsea trying to play out, but Liverpool's press has been that good. Nunez has been a real threat. He's had a couple of chances, a couple of good saves. Obviously, the penalty misses. Not great for him, but like I say, he's been a real threat. And there we go with Jota again. He gets a bit of luck, I think, but on Chelsea's part, the defender was really poor to let him get through so easily. But then again, good finish. And then the other one with Bradley, I thought was a great finish, great run. Sterling switched off. But Liverpool have just I think wanted it more than being on the front foot. Really good pressing, like I say, I think they deserve the lead. They should be out of South, to be honest.
I mean, Darwin Núñez has caused them all sorts of problems again, Chris, hasn't he? With his movement, he had the long-range shot that just clipped the bar. He then had a left-foot shot that the keeper pushed on to the post. I mean, he's done everything. The penalty wasn't very good, but I mean, he's done everything bar put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, he could have done with the penalty off the post and in. He has the timing of his runs and his movement has been excellent. The other shot which Petrovic saved, left hand onto the post, the way he peeled off in between Silva and Disasi, brilliant movement, excellent movement, and he offers that threat in behind very well, and he has done all evening. He's a handful. He's linked up well at times. It's just a frustration for him. Some of his play. He's deserved more this evening, but again, it looks like just one of those evenings for him where in front of goal it's just not quite coming off. But Jota, the second best finisher at the club, bundling through and getting his goal.
Think that was a good finish, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, once he got through, what I liked about it is just how positive he was when he received the ball. There wasn't much of a gap. I've got to say, Pochettino, he was a centre-half himself, wasn't he? He would have been furious at the ease he just got through. He just basically bundled his way through Badiashile and Silva. I gave Silva a bit of praise, said he barely puts a foot wrong. Since I gave him that praise, he's barely put a foot right.
And Conor Bradley, Stuart, can just do no wrong at the moment.
Brilliant. He's great at watching. He's full of energy. I think he showed that in the goal. It was a great run, and it was just pure desire. Sterling, I think, sees him and thought of sort of let him go, and then when he realises he's in trouble, it's too late. And it's a great finish, by the way. Not a full-back's finish, as I heard in the commentary. It's a great finish right across the keeper. And like I say, since he's came into the team, he's been absolutely excellent, and it gives Jurgen that luxury, doesn't it, of leaving Trent out a little bit and letting him recover a little bit longer. But he's been such a plus for Liverpool.
Well, it gives them options, doesn't it, Stuart? I mean, even if he wants to bring Trent Alexander-Arnold on, it could be in a different position.
Yeah, I was thinking that actually, Chappers. I was thinking, if you want to put him into midfield and let him sort of roam and get on the ball and spray passes, you probably could see that later on in the game when they're seeing it out, probably put him on and leave Conor Bradley where he is. But like I say, it's great having that option. And even if, like I said, Trent needs a rest, you can put him in. Whereas before, I think they struggled in there with maybe an option. Joe Gomez there, but didn't look really comfortable. But he looks a right fit, and like I say, he's been a right credit to them.
Okay,
Quite a good
for the moment, hello.
I was just going to say, quite a good message that the fact that he's stuck with Bradley and Gomez over Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson. I thought, Robertson may come back in to give them balance on that left-hand side, but Klopp's saying you got to work your way back. You got to earn the right, and there's so many games that they will eventually get back in. But no, fair play to Bradley and Gomez, who have been outstanding.
Chris Sutton, Stuart Downing with us this evening, half-time at Anfield, then Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. It's been all over at the Etihad for some time. Chris Coles.
It has, Mark, yes. Manchester City 3, Burnley 0. Manchester City just strolling around now, almost at walking pace. They haven't really threatened a fourth. But Erling Haaland is on the field, and he's just had a really good opportunity. Put through, his first touch was a little loose, lost his angle, then he cut back onto his left foot and completely missed his kick. With a huge grin on his face. Maybe he is a little bit rusty, but he's got 8 minutes to try and get a return goal. He came on for Kevin De Bruyne, who got a standing ovation. He was at his very best, assisting Julian Alvarez's second goal. He's got 2, the birthday boy. Rodri's got 1, and Manchester City are very comfortable, leading Burnley by 3-0.
A lot closer at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's been good, this, Chris Temple.
It certainly has. We've got exactly 10 minutes to go. It's Tottenham 3, Brentford 2. Brentford 1 up at half-time through Neil Maupay. The start of the second half was a madness. Tottenham with a double change at half-time, bringing on Højbjerg and Johnson. Scored 3 goals in 8 minutes through Udogie, Johnson himself, and then Richarlison. But then a disastrous back pass by Udogie, who simply hadn't seen Ivan Toney lurking on the edge of the Spurs penalty area. Toney took his time and buried it bottom left. 2-2 for him since his return, and Brentford pushing now for an equaliser, so the Etihad might be all over. This one is very much on edge. 3-2 Spurs.
Midway through the second half in the Championship, just the one game in the Championship this evening. It's goalless at Hillsborough between Sheffield Wednesday and Watford. Wickham have beaten Brighton under 21s 4-1 in the EFL Trophy. And one game in the Scottish Women's Premier League this evening. Comfortable for Hibs as they lead Dundee United 4-0 with about 10 minutes to go there. 12 minutes past 9. This is 5 Live on a Wednesday evening. Jill McKenzie has the news.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Mark. Good evening. A man's been charged with the murder of 2 boys in Bristol on Saturday night. 44-year-old Anthony Snook is due before magistrates tomorrow. 15-year-old Mason Rist and 16-year-old Max Dixon both died after being stabbed. The EU says it'll carefully analyse the deal between the UK government and the Democratic Unionist Party. The agreement will see routine checks on goods travelling within the United Kingdom scrapped, paving the way for power sharing at Stormont to restart. Nicola Sturgeon's finished giving testimony to the UK COVID inquiry in Edinburgh. Scotland's former First Minister denied that some of her decisions during the pandemic were motivated by political gain. New figures show that 3/4 of the measles cases reported in England since October have been in the West Midlands. There have been almost 350 cases across the country. And in the US, social media bosses are appearing before a congressional committee where they're defending their efforts to keep children safe online. The committee chairman, Dick Durbin, said offenders were using their platforms to target children.
On BBC iPlayer.
This story that I'd never heard before. Real people, unbelievable stories, including another body.
Deepfake videos can make someone appear as though they're saying or doing something that they're not.
There is no woman in the world who is safe from this technology.
Beyond Utopia.
There is no freedom of religion, no freedom of thought, no freedom of press in North Korea.
And Revenge, Our Dad the Nazi Killer.
They all believe Dad was responsible for taking out a Nazi fugitive living in Australia.
Storyville. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
This is 5 Live Sport with Mark Chapman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0 at half-time in the Premier League at Anfield, and Darwin Núñez has missed a penalty, hit the post with it just before half-time. Erling Haaland has had another chance at the Etihad. Chris Cole?
Yeah, maybe they're better off without him, Mark, because he's had 2 excellent chances to score and he's missed them both. To be fair, the second chance was difficult, and credit to Dara O'Shea, who got his body in between Haaland and a floated cross from Núñez, and O'Shea just about smuggled the ball away from Erling Haaland. It won't take him long to get up to speed, and I reckon a fully fit Erling Haaland, or at least a fully match-sharp Erling Haaland, probably puts those 2 away. Manchester City going through the motions here. We have 3 minutes of normal time to play. It's Manchester City 3, Burnley 0.
Chris, have Burnley had the opportunity to offer anything in this game?
They have threatened sporadically, mainly with a long ball over the top when they dispossess Manchester City and then go long quite early. Lyle Foster and Zeki Amdouni have come close. Amdouni had half a chance, but his touch let him down and his angle worsened with every passing moment. Fired it over off balance, and Josh Brownhill had a weak effort straight at Ederson. To be honest, Mark, it's been exactly the type of game you anticipated before the match started. City with all the ball, Burnley struggling to create anything much, and I think Vincent Kompany will be quite pleased to be getting out at 3-0, given it was 3-0 just after half-time.
Yeah, which is kind of Stuart Downing listening to that. It's just a bit depressing, isn't it? I mean, Burnley's survival in the Premier League isn't going to hinge on what they do away at Manchester City, but they just need a bit of hope from somewhere, don't they?
Yeah, and I think obviously they're not expected to win tonight. I think everybody can see that, but I think with that chappers is you don't want to get a big scoreline, 6 and 7s, because that's when it can get demoralised and knock the confidence. Really, I think Man City could do that to anybody, but I just think with Burnley at the minute, the way they are in that situation, like I say, if 3-0, if they get out of that and they've did all right in this 3-0, you can take your licks and sort of crack onto the next game and get onto them so-called winnable games where. I just think in terms of the scoreline, they need to just keep it as is and not, don't make it embarrassing, really.
And that, from a Manchester City point of view, it sounds like it's been an ideal evening as they've been able to ease De Bruyne back. They've been able to ease Haaland back, having brought him on.
Yeah, I think it's a good game, on paper, obviously, to bring them in. Like I say, you can put them in for 60, 70 minutes, take them off, put Haaland on and maybe get a goal and a bit of confidence up. So it has been probably an all-round good night for Man City. Like I say, good result, looked pretty comfortable, created chances. Like I say, I think De Bruyne getting through that is a massive plus. And like I say, he's like an unbelievable signing really in this time of the season. And you feel for the other teams because I think they're going to be really strong the second half of the season. They're going to really push on City.
Go on, Chris.
Sorry, Erling Haaland was racing through there, but again his touch just took him slightly wider than he would want. Here's Matheus Núñez racing in, but he's dispossessed and Burnley can clear, as you were.
Let's get back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and Brentford pushing for this equaliser. Chris?
1 or 2 Spurs injuries and bits of cramp just to break the game up at the end here, but Brentford certainly have been pushing. At times they've had 5 or 6 forward in the attack, still trailing by 3-2. I just wonder, Mark, if they'll be looking back at a great chance that Ivan Toney had on the stroke of half-time to make it 2-0 before Spurs' second half transformation. Brentford have dropped 20 points from winning positions this season. If this stays this way in the closing stages, that will be up to 23, which is considerably more than anybody else. We've got 3.5 minutes to play, an injury stoppage at the moment.
Well, and also, Chris, to come out for the start of the second half and concede 2 so quickly, albeit Ange Postecoglou had made changes.
Yeah, Højbjerg and Johnson on, who were the two actually from the FA Cup defeat to Manchester City, who were actually rotated out of the team this evening. He obviously decided at half-time he needed them. James Maddison, a word on him, by the way, as well. He struggled to get into the game, really. Has started this evening and actually is just being brought off, as I say that, on the far side. So he's lasted 87 minutes on his first start since early November. He's had a much better second half and had a hand in the third Tottenham goal for Richarlison. But Tony bringing it back to 2-2. Couple of good chances for Brentford since then as well. And what we're talking about, Brentford's proximity now to the bottom three, which was 4 points before this evening's game. Their next games, Mark, they've got Manchester City twice and Liverpool in the next 4, then West Ham, Chelsea and Arsenal.
Yeah, blimey. If things stay as is tonight at the Brentford game, with them losing 3-2 at Tottenham and with Burnley losing 3-0 at Manchester City, then Brentford would have 22 from 21, Forest 20 from 22, Luton 19 from 21, Everton 18 from 22, Burnley 12 from 22, Sheffield United 10 from 22. We'll probably talk a little bit more about this after 10 o'clock. Stuart Downing at the conclusion of the Liverpool-Chelsea game, but all of a sudden, when everybody originally thought it was going to be the three that came up going down, you're now looking at 2 of those probably going down, and then 1 more from maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think the only thing with Brentford, Chaplin, is obviously they've got Tony, who can get goals. Maupay, hopefully he can chip in. I do worry for Forest, I'll be honest. I think the manager going in there quite defensive, the way he plays, and where they're going to get the goals from. That's the only worry them. I think with Luton, like you said earlier in the show, the momentum, but that give him loads of confidence going forward, especially beating a really good team in Brighton. So, yeah, I'd have to, if I'm looking at it now on the paper, I'd have to definitely worry for Forest getting sucked in.
All right, Stuart, more from Stuart at full time. Back to Anfield. Teams are coming out for the second half. Chris and John.
Well, Mauricio Pochettino has not been impressed by what he's seen. He's making a triple change at half-time. Mudryk, Gusto and Nkunku are coming on for Madueke, Gallagher and Chilwell. So the captain, Ben Chilwell, is substituted. Might have a problem?
He might, but he had a particularly poor first half, didn't he? Conor Gallagher, will that be his last half in a Chelsea jersey? Who knows? But I don't think
it shouldn't be, should it?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would be surprised, but it's Chelsea, so you never know. But it was so one-sided, wasn't it? The first half, and Liverpool so dominant. Things have to change from Mauricio Pochettino's perspective, and he's run the changes.
Yeah, he has. So Nkunku is on. I mean, he was a doubt with a hip problem. He's he's had a long spell out this season. Wasn't involved in the last 5 matches, and he's actually gone through the middle, up front, the number 18. So it's 2-0 to Liverpool here as the second half begins. But back to Manchester and Chris Coles,
where Burnley have a goal which they have deserved. They've kept on going. It's now Manchester City 3, Burnley 1. Amin Al-Dakil is first for the club, couldn't really miss on the line, well found from a flank. And it's Manchester City 3, Burnley 1. Final moments of stoppage time.
So play underway in the second half here at Anfield on 5 Live. Liverpool 2-0 up. Should be more. Darwin Núñez hit the post with a penalty shortly before half-time, and he's caught offside, so it's a free kick to Chelsea. Liverpool are as they started, with Alisson in goal, Bradley, goal scorer Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Gomez, the back 4, Szoboszlai, McAllister and Jones in midfield, Luis Diaz, Jota and Núñez up front, and it was Jota who scored the opening goal. Jota on the right, Núñez in the middle, Diaz on the left. And Chelsea, now that they've made the changes, Badiashile has come over to play at left back, as he did against Aston Villa in the FA Cup on Friday night. So Badiashile at left back, Thiago Silva and Disasi, Gusto at right back. The ball is back with Petrovic, the goalkeeper at the moment. Caicedo and Fernandes, the 2 in central midfield. Liverpool playing it through to Jota. Jota finding the pass that comes off the shins, actually, of Caicedo and runs through for a Liverpool corner.
Yep. As Jota trying to slide a ball out left here, and just to finish Chelsea off, Sterling's gone to the right-hand side, Mudryk off the left, Cole Palmer in his, some people think, his best position in that 10 role, and Nkunku through the middle.
I think that, I saw him play, I've seen him play a number of times where he's been the furthest forward player, and it feels like they miss him further back when he's effectively up front. It is 2-0, Liverpool with the corner from the left-hand side, attacking the Kop end now, and here is the delivery, swirled into the near post. That's headed up and away by Thiago Silva. Comes out for McAllister, making his return for Liverpool tonight after missing Sunday. Picked up a knock against Fulham. Ball out towards the left-hand side for Liverpool. Szoboszlai. And then Diaz back to Nunez, who's going to try a shot, but that's blocked, actually, by Caicedo. And Caicedo now chasing after it, goes for an early pass downfield. This is for Sterling to chase, but he's running from right to left across field. So the former Liverpool man, roundly booed by Anfield, then chips it into the penalty area, but beyond Nkunku, and Alisson is able to come and pick it up. And the full-time whistle has gone now at the Etihad Stadium with you, Chris Coles.
Manchester City 3, Burnley 1. A birthday brace for Julian Alvarez, a close-range header and a smart finish from a De Bruyne free kick. Rodri made sure of the result 28 seconds into the second half, sweeping home a Foden cross. Amin Al-Dakhil with a stoppage-time consolation for Burnley. Manchester City 3, Burnley 1.
So that is Manchester City up to 46 points and back up into second above Arsenal. So Liverpool 48 points with this victory, as it looks as though it will be, leading by 2-0. Liverpool will become the first team to hit 50 points in the Premier League this season, as offside flag is given against Curtis Jones, and it's a free kick to Chelsea halfway inside their own half. And Chelsea have this free kick that they play back towards the edge of their own penalty area. Manchester City, with the goals that they've scored tonight, Manchester City have beaten Liverpool to 50 Premier League goals this season. Manchester City the first to reach that landmark, but Liverpool need one more to do that, and there's every chance that they might get it in the second half. If it's anything like the first, and Liverpool winning the ball back in the Chelsea defensive third. Curtis Jones near the corner flag, but two Chelsea men are in there. Gusto, who's a doubt for this game, but fit to come on at half-time. Caicedo is fouled then near the edge of his own penalty area, and it's a free kick to Chelsea. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, and look, I suppose the question might be for Liverpool is can they keep up this intensity, this press for the second half, because Chelsea are trying to be brave, but they haven't gotten out too many times in this game, and they've tried to play out from the back.
Liverpool with Van Dijk putting in the challenge on Sterling, and Sterling beat him. And now the ball with Gusto, who takes it on and crosses for Mudryk, who stretches and puts it into the Chelsea fans. On the stretch, left foot, but couldn't direct it on target, and it landed up there, halfway up the lower tier of the Anfield Road end.
That was one of my finishes at Chelsea from Mudryk. Gusto does brilliantly well. They play out from the back, down the right-hand side. He crosses the ball in, whips it across to Mudryk, who's 12 yards out. He just does not get his feet sorted out. Too many long strides, and it's a really poor finish, left-footed high into the stand behind the goal.
Jota gives it away. Do you remember when Mudryk made his debut against Liverpool and looked like greased lightning? As here, Jota carrying the ball forward towards the edge of the area, gives it square. Szoboszlai back for the run of Diaz, and Diaz's ball pulled across was slid behind by Disasi for a Liverpool corner from the right, but again Liverpool all over Chelsea.
Yeah, and Disasi does well. Diaz moving out to this right-hand side, but Liverpool so quick and incisive the way they break. Jota at the heart of things once again.
Szoboszlai to take this corner in front of the Kop. Hundreds of people, scarves draped around their necks. In comes the ball, headed away by Badiashile, and then Fernandes wins the header against McAllister, and then the two of them bump bodies together. Liverpool in possession though. It's played out high to the right-hand side here to Szoboszlai, and then back to the halfway line to Bradley, who will turn and give it back towards the edge of his penalty area. Actually way out of his penalty area is Alisson, the goalkeeper. Bradley, who will be feeling great after scoring his first senior competitive goal. Excellent finish from the right side of the penalty area. VAR made him wait a few moments if you weren't listening in the first half, but eventually it was confirmed. So the Northern Ireland international off the mark for Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold among the substitutes. If he comes on today, it'll be his 300th appearance for Liverpool. Gomez tried to slip the ball forward. That was blocked on the edge of the area. Luis Diaz now facing Gusto. Takes him on into the area. Right foot shot, but straight at Petrovic, who's able to pat it down, the Chelsea goalkeeper.
He's so clever, Luis Diaz is, because he drives the outside, sets full-backs up, because trying to set them up for this position. He can go inside on his right foot, angle against him, shoot straight at Petrovic. The Chelsea goal.
So Chelsea with the ball in front of the penalty area. So Manchester City and Tottenham winning tonight. Tottenham are in a real contest. Sheffield Wednesday, Watford. Did that finish 0-0? Did we say that? As Sterling has the ball in the centre circle. Sterling taking it on through the middle. Bounces off Nkunku. Then down in the right-back area, Nkunku is bundled over. Bradley bundled over by Nkunku, and it's a free kick to Liverpool in their own right-back area. Yes, confirmation, it did finish. It's got 7 minutes to play. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0 in that match. Free kick, Liverpool, Chris.
Lovely turn from Sterling in a central position. Gomez had gone in with him. Sterling sharp on the turn, tries to feed a ball through. And Bradley there again using his physicality so well. I saw Carl Frampton talking about him, saying he's going to be the most high-profile Northern Irish player since.
George Best?
Yes.
Did he say that?
Carl Frampton, and he knows you wouldn't argue with him.
I certainly would not. It is finished now at Tottenham. Chris Temple.
Spurs have won it 3-2 against Brentford, but boy, do they have to work for it after they fell behind to Neil Maupay in the first half. A flurry of 3 goals in 8 minutes at the start of the second half from Udogie, Johnson and Richarlison. Ultimately the difference, despite Ivan Toney pulling one back, and Vicario an outstanding stave in stoppage time. Tottenham 3, Brentford 2.
Gomez with a pass into the penalty area, looking for Nunez, who is in between Thiago Silva and Badiashile. Almost got his head to it, just over and through for a goal kick.
It's like a quarterback, Joe Gomez at times, isn't he, in that inverted role, not far away. Are we going to include Tottenham in this title race, John?
Well, I think until they're definitively out of it, why, as Ange Postecoglou said, why would you not? Here's Bradley, now to Jones. Jones, the edge of the penalty area. Szoboszlai, Bradley. Liverpool running rings around Chelsea here. Jones then well tackled actually by Fernandes. Oh, then it's won back by Jota, and Jota's shot, that's blocked at source by Badiashile, and it will run away out of play for a corner on the right hand side. I say the more the merrier, Chris.
Yep.
Let's hope they stay in it as long as they can. But everyone knows who the two big favourites are.
Yeah, and I mean, just on tonight's performance so far, this is a Liverpool team flexing the muscles.
Yeah, doing the job, doing it well. Szoboszlai to take this outswinging right-footed corner towards the back post. Nunez, Van Dijk goes for that. That's headed away by Chelsea. It's won back by McAllister illegally with an arm, says Paul Tierney, and it's a free kick to Chelsea in front of their own penalty area. Those who've seen pictures of the Jota goal, incidentally, at half-time, the suggestion being that if it did strike an arm, it was probably Badiashile's arm, not Jota's. Therefore, right decision for the goal to stand.
Yeah. One of the pieces of footage, I thought that's what I thought. That would have been extremely harsh.
It would. So 2-0, Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0 in this 8:15 kickoff. So match of the day for all of the action from the midweek matches so far tonight, BBC One tonight. And Thiago Silva finding Palmer, who passes it forward. Palmer now in a much deeper position, having played the furthest forward in the first half, but an offside flag is up against Nkunku, and it's a free kick to Liverpool, 7 or 8 yards inside their own half. We'll bring you interviews, by the way, in the last 15 minutes of 5 Live Sport tonight. That's the first place you'll be able to hear them, but also on the 5 Live Football Daily podcast in the morning. Szoboszlai round the outside behind Fernandes, pulls it back. Thiago Silva, it hit him, kept in play by Fernandes, and then Jota and Jones went for the same ball. Then it's won back by Bradley, though, 25 yards out. He was fouled. He kept his feet, though, but the referee's brought it back for that foul on Bradley. And Liverpool with a free kick 25 yards out.
Blimey, I mean, what a game he's having, Conor Bradley.
Yeah, but it's not entirely out of step with how he's played
it's not,
in the other matches.
But I bet Trent's sitting on the bench thinking, blimey, am I going to win my place back? He has been that good, hasn't he?
So if you're Jurgen Klopp, what do you do? Do you just... What do you do?
Well, what can you do?
Stick with it.
Yep. Well, game's coming thick and fast, so there will be a bit of rotation, I'm sure. I mean, it's a squad game, isn't it, these days? And that's where Liverpool have been pretty impressive this season. The squad which Jurgen has rebuilt.
Free kick then, Szoboszlai to take this, right of centre, 25 yards out. Szoboszlai has a look, then comes up, right foot off the top of the wall, which takes it looping over, landing on the roof of the net, which is just bobbing gently as the ball bounces back out to the right-hand side for this Liverpool corner, the latest Liverpool corner. They've dominated the game, they've dominated possession, they're 2-0 up, should be more. This is their 7th corner of the match. Chelsea have had 0. Szoboszlai to take this then. From the right, raises his left arm, comes up, strikes it into the near post this time. That's cleared away by Nkunku. And Joe Gomez is able to take up possession for Liverpool near the halfway line. McAllister now to Bradley, and here he is, Bradley, the man of the moment, infield towards Luis Diaz, short pass, now Szoboszlai, Bradley again, Red Sox right up over his knees, then infield from McAllister, Luis Diaz, Jota on the edge of the D. Jota couldn't find the pass to the left-hand side to Nunez, and Chelsea Sterling with a pass through to Nkunku, who was by a distance offside. Doesn't have to wait for that one.
But that was a waste. That was an opportunity, because Sterling halfway inside his own half, and Nkunku had made a run from inside his own half, and he wanted the ball just hooked on first time from Sterling. Sterling then takes the touch, and Nkunku's run has taken him into the Liverpool half all on his own, and he's offside. Poor decision making from Raheem Sterling.
So free kick, Liverpool with half an hour to play before this latest victory. This would be 15 wins out of 22 in the Premier League this season. Bradley up against Badiashile, and Badiashile might have used his arms to bring him down. Referee decided not. Chelsea tried to break away, but the covering challenge is there from Szoboszlai to put it out of play. Liverpool have not won in 6 Premier League matches against Chelsea, not since 2020. Actually, the last time Chelsea won here, Mason Mount scored the winner, and that was 1-0. I remember it well, Mason Mount scoring the goal. The remarkable thing about that, I'll tell you in a moment, because Nunez has it on the left-hand side, plays it infield towards McAllister. McAllister chips it forward into the area, and it's hooked away, crucially, by Gusto, who just kept it in play. It was aiming for Nunez, but he was denied by an excellent little flick from Gusto. Chelsea trying to improve on their efforts in the first half, but Jones now for Liverpool again. Jota through the middle, flick from Szoboszlai. Nunez! Right foot shot, didn't have enough power on it, went for the top corner across Petrovic, who was able to take quick steps to his left and pluck it down.
Oh, brilliant from Szoboszlai. Outside of the right boot into Nunez. So intricate from Liverpool.
Now Chelsea with Palmer. Cole Palmer over the halfway line, running from right to left, uses Nkunku, back to Palmer, lifts it forward towards Mudryk inside the area, goes down with Conor Bradley behind him, and Mudryk goes down to ground. Referee Tierney not interested.
Yeah, he should be booked. Threw himself to the floor. It's a good run, and we know he can put the burners on Mudryk, but not enough contact there. I don't think there was any contact, in fact. Another one. John.
Now.
Another one. Who's better than
Gallagher,
that?
Chilwell, Mudryk. Still going with Chilwell as the worst offender.
Yeah. I think he's top of the podium.
And they fill the podium now, don't they? Chelsea going to make another change shortly, but Mudryk now on the left-hand side against Bradley. Bradley does well, and Mudryk has fouled him. Bradley turned him with the ball and was tugged over And that is a free kick for Liverpool, and it's low fives all round among the defenders in their own penalty area again.
He's quite mild-mannered, isn't he, Mauricio Pochettino? But
he can have his moments.
He's not happy.
Daniel Levy used to wind him up once or twice. I seem to remember.
Yeah.
Can win one or two press conferences where he didn't seem that mild-mannered when the signings weren't forthcoming at Tottenham. Liverpool.
He's pretty measured, though, isn't he, normally?
In the main, yeah. He is an amiable man, I would say that, yes. A man with rural roots.
Nothing wrong with that, John.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm all in favour of that. Here's Bradley on the right-hand side. Then Jota. And then Jota back towards the halfway line. That match when Mason Mount scored, Chris, which, as I say, was back in 2021. That was 2021 behind closed doors. Of the players that played that night and were on the bench for Chelsea, only 2 remain at the club. Amazing. James and Chilwell being the 2.
It is, yeah.
That just shows what a churn there's been for Chelsea in a relatively short space of time, and possibly, I think, goes to explain why it is that they were 12th last season and currently 10th this season, because there simply hasn't been enough consistency.
No. All change, too much change.
Chukwuemeka is going to come on. He's going to be the next Chelsea player to come on, so that'll be substitute number 4, and it's Caicedo who's coming off. Here's Bradley again on the right-hand side, so Anfield raises its hopes. In comes the cross. There's the header and in! Szoboszlai to make it 3-0. And this time Conor Bradley creates it, but headed down and in from 7 yards by Szoboszlai. And Liverpool now comfortable. 3-0.
Great header from Szoboszlai. But what a ball from Conor Bradley on the right-hand side, driving towards the byline, stands up a beautiful ball. There I say it, Trent Alexander-Arnold-like. And Szoboszlai attacks the ball in between 2 Chelsea defenders and powers a header, textbook header, down past Petrovic in the Chelsea goal. He flings himself to his right-hand side, but the power and accuracy, too much. Brilliant header. Uses the pace of the ball, catches it perfectly. Szoboszlai, Bradley stands the ball up, bang, 3-0, game over.
And the latest change made by Chelsea, Caicedo, who's being whistled for not being a Liverpool player, basically. And on comes Chukwuemeka, who's another Chelsea player who's had real injury problems this season. Actually started the first 2 matches of the season, the former Aston Villa youngster, England under-20 international, Connie Chukwuemeka. But for the 4th match in a row as he comes back, he's on as a substitute, the Chelsea number 17 in midfield. Long ball forward, but Alisson's going to gobble that up, which he does. Just gathers the ball into his chest. And it is full-time now at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0. So that's it. All of the other matches are over tonight. The domestic matches: Manchester City 3, Burnley 1, Tottenham 3, Brentford 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Watford 0, and it was Wycombe 4, Brighton and Hove Albion under-21s 1 in the EFL Trophy, wasn't it? Liverpool 3-0 up here, and that is it. That's their 50th Premier League goal of the season, just scored by Dominic Szoboszlai, just slightly behind Manchester City in that regard. But they're going to be the first to 50 points in the Premier League this season. They go to Arsenal on Sunday. That's one of our commentary matches this weekend. Chelsea trying to do something about this. To vain hope. Gusto's ball in from the right-hand side, which is taken down by Mudryk in the opposite full-back area. Bradley onto him quickly. Chukwuemeka now with Jota. Jota plays it forward, but Badiashile turns it infield. Fernandes sets off goalwards. Palmer centrally, then back to Desassi. Now Gusto again on the right-hand side. Gusto, his attempted ball into the box is blocked on the edge of the area. Palmer's found a little bit of space now, but his crossfield pass is into the path of Jota, who will just run it away. And with that third goal, Jurgen Klopp is now going to make some of his changes. A triple change coming, Robertson's coming on, a quadruple change it is. Robertson, Alexander-Arnold, Gakpo and Elliott it is, just stepping out. So I could see him. Ball played through for Liverpool, for Nunez to chase, and he's conceded a free kick for a foul on Disasi. So my favourite, Chris, a quadruple substitution. So first to be applauded off to the rafters. I think Jota is coming off, certainly. McAllister. This is going to be very interesting if Bradley stays on the field.
No, Bradley's off. He's the first one off.
Yeah, he's gone. That's it. Well, so it's not interesting then. Alexander-Arnold. Szoboszlai, who's only just come back. Jota, as I mentioned, and Joe Gomez, obviously, for Andy Robertson. So Jota as well, just making sure about Jota, who's had recent injury problems, muscle problems, but scored tonight, scored the first of the goals tonight, so that's 4 goals in his last 4 appearances. And now we do see what you might call, Chris, the first choice fullbacks coming on, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, but with the way that it's gone, we can say it now, what good management that is.
Yeah, and in many ways a perfect evening. Get the game put to bed and give players coming back from injuries a bit of game time to try and get them up to speed.
And this means that Trent Alexander-Arnold is making his 300th Liverpool appearance here tonight in all competitions at the age of 25. That's not bad, is it? 300 appearances by 25. There's only 2 Liverpool players who've been younger than he is now who've made it to 300 appearances, and they weren't bad. And Van Dijk hits a pass down the left for Robertson to chase, who couldn't get there, but that was 60-70 yards from Van Dijk.
Yeah, it was a reverse ball. Robertson saw it, Van Dijk saw it and nearly delivered it. Not many other people in the stadium saw it.
3-0. Those 2 Liverpool players, 300 appearances younger than Alexander-Arnold, Ian Rush and Emlyn Hughes, club's record scorer and one of their European Cup winning captains. Here is Enzo Fernandez, back to the halfway line. Speaking of European Cup winners, John Terry is in the crowd tonight. It's all the rage. As ball played through into the penalty area, and a shot from Nkunku is in off the foot of the post. He found space in the box after a little pass into him from Chukwuemeka, and Chelsea, against all expectations, are on the score sheet. Nkunku with his second goal for the club. Liverpool 3, Chelsea 1.
Out of nowhere, I've got to say, he takes this goal superbly well. Chelsea need a centre-forward they can rely on. Receives the ball, back to goal, 14 yards out, inside the box, just drifts off Konate and Van Dijk. Shapes, drags it inside and finishes the ball left-footed in off the far post. Clever play, clever finish, really manoeuvred the ball well. And Alisson in the Liverpool goal gave him absolutely no chance. Passed the ball into the bottom corner.
He'd be cross about that, Alisson. He's only had 1 save to make, I think, hasn't he, in the match so far? And he didn't give it. Nkunku didn't give him a chance with that one. A shot into the bottom corner off the foot of the post. So that means Jordan Pickford will stay ahead in the Golden Glove rankings this season. I'm sure you keep close tabs on that. Nkunku flicking the ball into the penalty area, but all the way through to Alisson, who's able to pick it up. So Liverpool 3, Chelsea 1, the scoreline now, with less than 20 minutes to go. 5 Live Sport on air till 10:30 tonight, so we'll bring you interviews and reaction from the earlier matches. Manchester City's win, Tottenham's win. Ball played forward for Nunez, but he won't reach that, and it's through to goalkeeper Petrovic. Yes, John Terry's in the away end, just like Alan Shearer.
That's it's a long trip.
They're all doing it.
John Terry, yeah, you might spot me in an away end soon, John.
In the Barclay end, the Barclay stand.
But that's a home game, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd have to go to an away match, yeah. Well, you've got plenty of choice, haven't you? As Fernandez plays it forward, but it's headed down by Van Dijk. And Robertson challenging for the ball on the halfway line. And now Palmer to the right-hand side. Gusto taking it on. A second Chelsea goal would put the cat among the pigeons, wouldn't it? Here's Palmer from deep through the middle, and Nkunku, Chukwuemeka, then Mudryk, edge of the area. Mudryk, little ball in, and down goes Nkunku from a challenge, I think, from Van Dijk inside the box. Referee Tierney again says no to Chelsea as a player goes down inside the Liverpool box. Mudryk now clipping it across. Van Dijk on the stretch, cleared away, and then the low shot in from Gusto, but Alisson goes down to his left to save it. Too close to the Liverpool goalkeeper, but there's a warning.
And Mauricio Pochettino, he's furious that Chelsea haven't been awarded a penalty. It's Mudryk, 5-yard pass into Nkunku, but I don't think there's enough in that. There's Van Dijk in behind him.
Still, that was probably I mean, the other three weren't terribly close to penalties, but in fact they weren't close at all. But that by definition is the closest one. Here's Elliott, Harvey Elliott, one of the four Liverpool substitutes. Now to the right-hand side to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Then back to Elliott again, just puts his foot on the ball. McAllister, and Elliott will roll it all the way back to Alisson inside his own half.
Yeah, the substitutions for Liverpool haven't quite worked at this moment in time. They're just trying to make passes. Liverpool, and Van Dijk wayward with that one.
Wayward pass, so Konate couldn't reach that. Throw in for Chelsea as they attack towards the end, where John Terry is watching, and amongst the Chelsea supporters. They've done well, I must say, the cameras, to pick out John Terry in there, who's got a black flat cap on. But picked him out, they did. So look out for pictures of that, no doubt, all over.
It was probably a Gucci
media.
One or something, John.
Well, it might not have been.
May have helped.
Might not. Here's Badiashile to Nkunku, who's out here on the left-hand side, curls the ball into the box for Mudryk, but that will bounce all the way through to Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper, who's able to claim it to his right. So 3-1 Liverpool lead. Liverpool at Arsenal on Sunday afternoon, and Chelsea are at home to Wolves on Sunday, and that match actually is on Sports Extra as well. As Alexander-Arnold curls the ball forward nicely. That's into the path of Gakpo. Gakpo looking for the arriving Robertson near the byline, clips it across. Nunez hits the bar with a header, comes back out into the area and bounces to the edge of the box. And Elliott wins it again. Elliott's shot saved by the goalkeeper's legs. Comes back out to Diaz on the edge of the area. Alexander-Arnold weaving his way, stabbing it to the edge of the area. Shot from McAllister. That's blocked by Chukwuemeka. And the foul is committed on the halfway line by Konate on Nkunku. And it is a yellow card for Konate for that, after the ball rebounded off Chukwuemeka almost to the halfway line where Konate committed the foul. But Darwin Nunez.
It's not his night, is it, Nunez?
That's the understatement of the week.
That was an easy header, really. Just keep your header down there. 8-9 yards out. Saw the cross all the way. Should have buried it.
So here's Gakpo playing it across the edge of the box to Jones, Curtis Jones, then Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold square again to Gakpo, twists in the D, back outside the D, shoots low, but wide of the foot of the post and behind for a goal kick. So Nunez now, that's at least 7 attempts on goal.
I think that's 8, because the 7th was at the penalty.
Oh yeah, good point. And I think there might have been another one.
Yeah, it started the second half.
It was blocked.
Yeah.
So it could be 8 attempts on goal. He's had a shot saved onto the bar, shot saved onto the post. He's hit the post with a penalty, and he's headed against the crossbar, Nunez. Louis van Gaal is here in the stands. Well, great to see him, because his health has been an issue, hasn't it, Louis van Gaal? So really good to see him here attending a match. Liverpool leading Chelsea by 3-1. 5 Live from the BBC. Listen to the live radio via BBC Sounds as well. If you don't hear the interviews tonight, if it's too late for you, 10:15 or later, then they'll be on the 5 Live Football Daily podcast, as Liverpool have the ball inside their own half, and it goes back to Elliott, who will pass it back to Konate, and now Van Dijk as Liverpool start again. I mean, it's improved from Chelsea, but frankly, it couldn't get much worse, could it?
No, I mean, but you know, the goal gives them a tiny bit of hope. As they get another one, just try and make it uncomfortable for Liverpool. Liverpool just trying to take the sting out of the game, make some passes.
But on the counter to that, you know, you've said tonight that this is as good a performance that you've seen from Liverpool, as McAllister picks out a pass through the middle to Nunez. Nunez's cross, and it's in from Diaz! Slides it in for 4-1. Nunez created that one, so he does have a moment to really celebrate tonight. But Luis Diaz making absolutely certain of these 3 points for Liverpool here tonight, and putting down a marker ahead of the Carabao Cup final in just over 3 weeks' time. Liverpool 4, Chelsea 1.
But Nunez is absolutely brilliant. Major part in the goal, other than his finishing tonight. I say other than his finishing, that he has been absolutely outstanding. I think Badia Shields trying to play him offside. He bends his run, left-hand side, takes the ball and whips a wonderful cross in to Luis Diaz, who's attacking the ball at the far post. And he wants to make it his, and he does make it his. 6 yards out. Gets in front of Badia Shields, who's on his heels, and powers the ball in. 4-1.
4-1.
Home and hosed.
Luis Diaz scored in both matches against Chelsea in the league this season now, and Liverpool once again romping to victory. It's good to say that in the build-up to the fourth Liverpool goal that you feel they're really on song tonight, Liverpool.
Oh, absolutely. They're linked up so well. Been a bit disruptive, the substitutions, but I think that's bound to happen when you make so many at once. The rhythm before then, John, was first class.
Mudryk is then tumbled over by McAllister, and it's a free kick to Chelsea near the halfway line. One of our colleagues on social media, BBC social media, tell us that Opta say that Liverpool Nunez has had 10 shots now. That's 10 shots he's had. 4 of them on target with an XG of 1.42. If you're into that kind of thing, it says in brackets. Some people will be. As Petrovic comes out of his penalty area, whacks this downfield, and that's taken down by Andy Robertson. And now Gakpo moving forward, played back into the centre circle for Alexander-Arnold to just angle it back to Konate. So 4-1 down, Mauricio Pochettino's side. Just having a look, is this the heaviest defeat that they've had this season? They lost 4-1 at Newcastle, actually, if you remember, back in November. So it's their joint heaviest defeat since Mauricio Pochettino took over as manager.
Just outclassed, haven't they? Liverpool have been far too good for them, and you think, and you have to say it, £1 billion to put this team together, and they look miles behind Liverpool.
Don't they just? Liverpool with Gakpo coming forward again. They want 5 now. Robertson hangs one to the back post. Diaz beaten in the air by Badia Shields, but Diaz turns, he's off racing after the ball against Mudryk, and it bounces out of play off the Liverpool man for a throw into Chelsea. Bobby Clark's coming on for another appearance for Liverpool. This is excellent again to be able to give him the opportunity. Curtis Jones leaving the midfield, Bobby Clark coming on for his 6th appearance for the Liverpool first team. It's his 4th substitute appearance in the last 6 matches. So he's being eased in, the 18-year-old, the son of Lee Clark, as you probably know. The number 42, more big match experience for him, Bobby Clark. Sounds like he should be playing in hobnail boots, doesn't he, and long shorts. Bobby Clark, I remember how Bobby Clark. But this is Bobby Clark 2024 version, and he's on into the left side of the central Liverpool midfield. Alexander-Arnold standing over the ball. Luis Diaz just wanders away, and Alexander-Arnold takes this for Diaz, who drags it back. Luis Diaz, who's just scored his 8th goal of the season. So Salah's still there at the top of the tree in terms of Liverpool's goal scorers this season, 18. But Jota now on 13. Nunez, for all of his efforts, hasn't been able to get onto the score sheet tonight with his 11 this season.
There's going to be one game, though, for Nunez, isn't there, where he scores a barrel load.
Yes, there is. Might be the same game where Joe Gomez finally gets his first goal for the club. Mudryk, oh, it's tackled by Elliott. That's dangerous. Nunez, left foot shot. Straight at Petrovic, who's able to pick it up. And that's effort number 11.
Don't know what his XG.
I think it's just
gone. Does that go up from there? We'll have to ask Rory Smith.
Get Rory Smith.
Yeah, he wrote a book on it, didn't he?
He did. Have you got that?
Yeah, I've got it.
Have you? Have you read it?
Some of it.
The introduction by Chris Sutton.
No, it's very good.
With introduction by Chris Sutton. Liverpool 4, Chelsea 1, and Liverpool go back towards the edge of the penalty area. It's a little bit like last week when Clinton Morrison was with me on Friday night, and I was mentioning the new programme that's on the telly, and actually a podcast series as well on Pep Guardiola. And Clinton said, my hairdresser, my barber says it's excellent. Robertson playing the ball in from the left-hand side. That was blocked by Disasi. Bounces across the penalty area and then cleared away by Badiashile, which bounces out of play for a throw into Liverpool on the left-hand side. And we'll see Chelsea's 5th change, and it's going to be a debut for Chelsea, for Cesare Casadei, the exciting young Italian international, Italian under-21 international, who's going to replace Cole Palmer, who's mildly booed for his Manchester City connections as he leaves the field. Not really figured tonight, Palmer.
No, very quiet. I think as quiet as I've seen him all season. Hasn't been able to influence the game in, or how he would have liked.
So Mauricio Pochettino has decided. They brought him back from Leicester. He's been at Leicester all season. 25 appearances, mainly as a substitute, but 3 goals he scored for them. But now here he is, 21 years old, the number 31 into the Chelsea midfield. Ball played through for Nunez, but he won't get there because goalkeeper Petrovic slides out of his 6-yard box to the left and gathers the ball. But another excellent ball through the Chelsea defence.
Excellent ball, but excellent run again. The one thing Nunez has done is he has made himself available all evening, making those runs in behind, stretching the Chelsea back line.
Here's Clark for Liverpool, but couldn't find the pass to his left. Chelsea with Gusto over the halfway line, but the final touch was off the Chelsea line.
Down, and that's a worry.
Now that is a concern. This would put a little bit of a cloud on the evening. McAllister, who's missed various parts of this season, Alexis McAllister, and did he just go down on his own, or was that from a collision? He's lying down near the centre circle on his left-hand side. The physio is on, giving him some treatment, but he didn't play on Sunday here against Norwich after he picked up a knock. And in the latter stages here, I mean, we've just got 3 minutes of the 90 to play. He's gone down centre field and he's lying on his back now, and the physio is looking at his right leg. Might be a knock of knees.
Yeah,
with Casadei.
Exactly my thoughts, and just seeing it back, I just wondered initially had he gone down on his own, but the fact that there is a collision of kneecaps, and he's still in a great deal of pain. I suspect that Jurgen Klopp, 4-1 up, will take him off anyway. But I think he's getting better and better, John, in the Liverpool jersey. He was excellent. I think at Bournemouth, very, very dominant. Sitting in that holding role, knitting everything together. But good to see him back on his feet.
He's made the 5 changes already, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So
but it's 4-1. Just whip
take him off the
yeah.
field. Yeah. For the final few minutes. However, he's on his feet, and that'll be a relief. And he's going to be able to walk off the field, but whether he'll come back on or not, we'll see. Darwin Núñez, according to Opta Joel, has now become the first player on record to hit the woodwork 4 times in a single Premier League match. So it's not actually a record, he's the first player to do that since 1992. For all we know, Bobby Clark, way back in the 50s, might have hit the post bar 5 times
in his hobnail boots.
In his hobnail boots. Right, McAllister's off the field, and let's just keep an eye on him and see if he's going to be able to come back on. They're talking about it. Jurgen Klopp's towering over him, and he's sort of hobbling around, putting his hands on his knees. They're thinking about it. I think he is going to come back on.
That's good. That's good news if he does.
Yeah.
Very obvious thing to say. I do obvious well, John, but just the fact that you'd think Arsenal coming up at the weekend, you think, or hope it's nothing too serious, then he can waddle back on.
Yep. Thiago's not too far away from being available again for Liverpool, back in training.
Is Salah as well? Is he back running? Did I see a picture today?
I think he said wouldn't be involved against Arsenal. Chelsea with the ball in the centre circle, and these are just the final knockings of this latest Liverpool win, the win that will take them to 51 points this season and re-establish their 5-point lead at the top of the Premier League. Liverpool passing the ball out from the back, Alisson involved in that. It's hit downfield here to Alexander-Arnold, whose red socks are disappearing down his calves. Back into centre field, here is McAllister, who receives the ball and just trots from right to left and then angles it back into his own half. We're going to have 6 minutes of added time, so plenty of time for Liverpool if they want to add another one to this. Handsome victory it is. Mauricio Pochettino's joint heaviest defeat as the manager of Chelsea. Elliott back towards the halfway line, and they will play each other at Wembley. 5 Live, the place to listen to that. 3 o'clock kick-off, it has now been decided on the Sunday the 25th of February. So join us for that. Mudryk breaking away to the halfway line. Alexander-Arnold putting the challenge in. I suppose Nicholas Jackson would in theory be available. Interesting, Armando Broja not used tonight. There's quite a lot of speculation that he might be sold by Chelsea as they played out to the right-hand side. Chelsea, Gusto
linked with Fulham, wasn't he?
Fulham for £50 million.
Blimey.
I know. Badiashile. And now Fernandes. Gusto, Chelsea, but it's not full tilt this, not by any means, as they go back to the halfway line, and Disasi just taps it to his right, and Chelsea just with possession in the central third of the field. Pass forward to Chukwuemeka, then Nkunku, back to Chukwuemeka again, now to the right hand side, and it's chipped across, and Nkunku couldn't get up there, but it was over his head, and Liverpool were able to clear from the cross from Sterling on the right. Liverpool, this attack breaks down. Diaz is onto this, and it seems as though Darwin Núñez will not get his name on the score sheet here tonight, despite his best efforts. What a night, really, for him. So unlucky. And he had the great chance with the penalty before half-time.
But what he has done, John, is he has worked that Chelsea back line. He has run them ragged. It's just been an unfortunate night in front of goal.
Chelsea with the ball in the central third of the field, bounces back to Badiashile, and then Badiashile to Fernandes, curls the ball low out to the right hand side. I mean, as I said, in the build up to the game, Chelsea have had such a long injury list and players unavailable all season long. But even despite that, as Stuart Downing was saying earlier, for the League Cup semi-finals, in terms of who was able to play, the transfer fees, the value of these players who are on the field, the ones that they have got available to them, really, you simply expect more.
Totally right.
Sterling heading the ball over Robertson, but Robertson's able to recover and pass the ball back to Alisson, who has to get it onto his right foot and then clear it, which he does. To Diaz, who controls it first time, and then Diaz sends a ball over the top. Nunez got his head to it. Disasi is with him. Nunez has been able to find Gakpo. Fortunate bounce of the ball. Gakpo right foot shot, but Petrovic goes down and makes a routine save down to his right.
Yeah, but even that Liverpool attack, it's because of the run from Nunez. Fights for the ball, not the best ball back to Gakpo. Gakpo choked his shot a little bit.
Chelsea have got the cup final to look forward to. Still going in the FA Cup. They've got to go to Aston Villa next week. Although last I've heard, amazingly, there's not a date set yet for that game. I mean, what for next week?
Right.
Unless that's been set in the latter part of today.
Well, can I ask why?
I guess they'd find a slot for it next week. But we'll check that. But I mean, even if it has been set today, I mean, spectators aren't trying to arrange their lives to go to the match. Really, it's got to be better than that. Here's McAllister with the ball in the centre circle. McAllister to Elliott, and then Konate. We're in the 4th minute of added time here at Anfield. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Konate dispossessed by Mudryk, Chukwuemeka, then back to Thiago Silva and Enzo Fernandez. And the problem with Chelsea this season, we were saying how they'd won their last 3 league matches, there's been signs of positivity, and then something like this happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a difficult night, more than difficult night for Chelsea. And then, you look at the recent victories, talked about them being on a decent run, but then you think, well, the teams they've played, they've beat Palace and Luton and Fulham, all by the odd goal. But when they come up against anybody half decent, they've been thoroughly outplayed.
It's rather like we often say about Manchester United, isn't it? As Gusto plays the ball infield from the right-hand side, but I mean, the match really has been finished for some time now. Certainly since the 4th goal, the 4th Liverpool goal. It's being played at little more than walking pace. Chelsea with Chukwuemeka up to the edge of the area, clipping it into the box. Konate got his head to it, and Chelsea have got their first corner of the match in the 6th minute of added time. And You'll Never Walk Alone begins to ring out, and Anfield begins to celebrate the win that Jurgen Klopp demanded tonight.
And a lot of the Chelsea away fans have disappeared. I wonder whether John Terry has popped off.
He might still be in there. Mudryk taking the corner, but it's headed away by Konate, then cleared away. There's a tug on Clark, so that's a free kick to Liverpool on the edge of their own penalty area, and Liverpool take it quickly, and the ball's played forward for Nunez. Nunez slips over against Gusto, but is able to recover and take up possession of the ball again and give it to Gakpo, who's been challenged by Casadei and Fernandez, and is fouled, and it's a free kick to Liverpool.
In shooting range, they should let Nunez take this. Yeah.
That's what they want. That's what the crowd want. Well, Nunez.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the final whistle. 6 minutes have been played, and Nunez doesn't get on the score sheet. Remarkable night for him, and actually he kicks the ball goalwards and puts it in the net in added time after the end of the match. So that's academic, but I mean, bittersweet night for him. Hit the post and the bar 4 times in the match, did assist one of the goals, but Liverpool are handsome winners here, just over 3 weeks before the Carabao Cup final between these sides. Liverpool very much putting down a marker in that respect, but more importantly getting the win they needed in the Premier League to re-establish their 5-point lead at the top in advance of their visit to Arsenal on Sunday, which you'll hear on 5 Live with us. But for Chelsea, night to forget, and Nkunku scored their goal for their joint heaviest defeat under Mauricio Pochettino so far.
Where do Chelsea go from here? I've got to say, though, Liverpool, you just wondered that the win at the weekend against Norwich City, very, very comfortable. People were looking at this game tonight and thinking, how are they going to go, Liverpool? But they wiped the floor with Chelsea. Emphatic win, and I think Arsenal have to beat them at the weekend. I really do. But if Liverpool go there and win, then, blimey, it looks like they may well go all the way.
Very good performance from Liverpool tonight. Jurgen Klopp said it was an occasion to forget the manager is leaving, and I think they achieved that. Klopp's out there with his players. Jota, Bradley, his first for Liverpool, Szoboszlai and Diaz, the goal scorers. Liverpool 4-1 winners here against Chelsea.
Liverpool 51 from 22, Manchester City 46 from 21 after their win tonight. Arsenal 46 from 22. Do you think that, Chris, if they go to Arsenal on Sunday, then they're going to be difficult to stop?
Oh, absolutely. If they go there and beat Arsenal in the back patch, you think they got Mo Salah coming back? Eventually. You look at the
City
team
win
tonight.
their game in hand, though. There's only 2 points between them.
But it's there have been some brilliant battles between City and Liverpool over the years, but this Liverpool team tonight, before they made all the substitutions, it was so one-sided. They made the subs, there was a bit of disruption because of that. But that was a big 3 points. Listen to the crowd inside the stadium right now. We all know what's going to happen at the end of the season. They have a cause to play for, Liverpool. They want to send their manager off with a Premier League title, and tonight they really meant business.
Stuart Downing with us as well. Would you describe that as maybe not easy for Liverpool, but comfortable for Liverpool?
Yeah, I think it was comfortable for large periods, wasn't it? I think Chelsea second half had a couple of little chances. Mudryk had one. I think there was a little chance when Sterling missed, took too long to pass it to him, and Kunku going through. But apart from that, I think Liverpool were, like Chris said, once they made the subs that went a bit, not all over the place, but a little bit sloppy for 5 or 10 minutes. But then they got it back together. And to be fair, it was a great performance from them. A couple of standouts, like you said, Bradley was brilliant. I think the right back. And they did have that luxury of bringing Trent and them on, so I think pretty comfortable night all round. It would have been better if Nunes could get a goal, but he tried his best, didn't he? But he's a real threat. But yeah, really, really good performance and a good result.
You'd pay for a ticket for Nunes alone, wouldn't you? Given his entertainment value.
Yeah, it's funny. I've just been listening to Adam McCoy in the company. He actually said the same thing. You'd pay to watch him. He's sort of box office, and he's a box of tricks. He's always running. He's always a threat. And like I said, in the end, you want him to score a goal really because of the output he does. He's great for the team. Like I say, he leads the line really well. And other than that, I know he hit the woodwork a couple of times, which he should have finished a couple, but the keeper made a couple of good saves. But what I like about him, chaps, is he just keeps going. He doesn't get sort of his head down. He keep taking a shot and he'll keep getting in the box. He doesn't hide. He just needs a bit of luck, I think.
He's hit the woodwork four times tonight, Chris, including once from the penalty spot, and he's hit it 11 times this season. He's not doing much wrong, is he, Chris?
Well, he's hitting the woodwork.
So yeah, I invited I suppose.
I mean, a couple of inches either side, and it'd be flying. He's such a nuisance, isn't he? That's the thing. So people will look at this game, and of course they'll talk about how many shots he had and him missing chances, but that's really not the whole story, and certainly not the whole story from Liverpool's perspective and the value he has to their team. He ran the Chelsea defence ragged. Brilliant assist for the Diaz goal, but he didn't give the Chelsea centre-halves a moment's peace throughout the game. Every time a Liverpool midfielder had the ball, he's making those movements in behind. The timing of his runs was exceptional. He offers that physicality. I want to be at the game. Eventually he will score 5 or 6 in a game. It will all click, and I hope I'm there.
Conor Bradley with a goal and 2 assists tonight. He is a different option now, isn't he, at right back, as we were saying at half-time, Chris. And that could allow Alexander-Arnold to be used in different ways, because he is a bona fide first-team right back now. I got player of the match.
Yeah, and no surprise there. When I mean, we don't want to go too early on him, but when someone comes into a team of Liverpool's stature, the history that they've had of developing players, and then of course there's always comparisons, isn't there? Is he as good as Alexander-Arnold? I mean, the early signs are defensively he looks really sound, but his goal was so impressive. His composure, the way he found the far corner, wonderful finish, and then the cross for the Szoboszlai header. He barely wasted a pass, and he looks a really mature player. There will inevitably be if he keeps playing where he has a little dip here and there, but physically he looks excellent, and like all the Liverpool players, he can really handle the ball.
But the opportunity may have come, Stuart, because of injury to Alexander-Arnold, but this has been planned by Liverpool, and you will know from your time in academies, whether that's coaching or coming through an academy. He's in double figures when it comes to caps for Northern Ireland, so he's playing international football. He was Player of the Year on loan at Bolton last season in League One. It's all been planned to get him to this stage.
Yeah, and I think for players sometimes to go on loan is really good for the career. Some lads, sort of get in the first team and probably stay like a Trent did. But for him, obviously, with a world-class player sort of in front of him, he's had to go out and go on loan and get his experience. But like you said, with his international football, that'll help him for such a young age. But he's sort of waiting in the wings, and he's waiting for a chance. And, like we all do when we come through, it sometimes does come through an injury or a suspension that you get your opportunity. And obviously, Jurgen trusts him. And like Chris said there, he's comfortable with the ball. He's very, very good 1v1 defending. I've seen tonight against Mudryk, who's very, very quick. He can handle him. He got his body in the way. So defensively, he's really, really good, really strong. And like I said, he's really good going forward and on the ball. So he's got both sides of his game. Still a young lad, a lot to learn. He will have dips. It's just naturally will have dips, and he'll come in and out of the team. But I think for the future, like you said, he's another option where you can maybe move Trent forward.
He has to earn the right, Mark. And the thing is, Jurgen Klopp isn't going to chuck him in unless he thinks he's good enough, and unless he trusts him. And that's the biggest thing. And then it's about having the temperament, having the stature, being confident enough when you do get your opportunity. And often as a young player, you might only get the game or two, and you have to grab that opportunity. And he's shown in a very short space of time that he looks up to the mark.
Chelsea will probably feel that, and I would imagine Mauricio Pochettino will say this afterwards, that they may have had a penalty. Certainly Van Dijk and Nkunku seemed to get Pochettino riled in the second half, but they still look very muddled, don't they, when the substitutions happen as well. I mean, Chukwuemeka and Nkunku did well, but I mean, Mudryk was anonymous again, wasn't he?
Do you want me to? Right.
You're the one that's there.
Well, you will watch the game as well. What do you want me to say about Chelsea? They are. I mean, for what they've spent, really, you think about that, £1 billion, whatever they've spent, and this is where they are. And have they improved from last season? Yes, but they couldn't be much worse. But they are a mishmash, and you think watching that team that they'd need to spend another half £1 billion, but they need to be patient with Pochettino. It was alarming, the gulf. You have a team at the top of the table, Liverpool, we get that, but Chelsea looked like a bang average mid-table team, and do you know what? That's what they are.
Mishmash is exactly it, Stuart, isn't it?
It is. Like Chris said, when you watch them, they don't look like a team. They're sort of individuals. Even recovery runs, like breaking your backside basically to get back and help your team. They just sort of play for themselves a little bit if that's what I'm looking for. And like Chris said, you look at teams like Fulham who give Liverpool a miles harder game than what Chelsea did tonight. And like you said, at times it was probably easy. They could have had a lot more goals. Like I said, Núñez is at the bar full time. So if you put it like that, it could have been a bigger scoreline. And just the goal for the minute, Liverpool look like a proper team going places, and Chelsea looked to me like, even though they spent all that money, they could do with spending a little bit more.
John Terry would have been glad he made the trip up.
You what?
He would have been glad he made the trip up to Liverpool.